Right, Tammy, thank you so much for that introduction. I'm not quite sure, I must have sent you something that wasn't quite accurate, but it's close enough to my background. It doesn't really matter. Fact is that I've got hundreds of years of experience in real estate investments and finance as a principal, as a sponsor. And around 8 years ago or so, I transitioned into digital marketing. That's a whole different subject. What I want to do is to give everybody something really, really tangible that you can walk away with, that you can actually use today after this presentation, after this fabulous conference that you put together, right? So what you're going to get is a very high-level overview of what crowdfunding is, just in case you don't know. We'll talk about the new industry that has emerged as a result of crowdfunding and how you can benefit from it, what exactly you can do to leverage crowdfunding. And then the third thing that we're going to do is we are going to do a deep dive. I've got 30 minutes and already burning up plenty of it, so I'm going to get going. I'm going to do a deep dive into the single most important thing you could be doing right now to raise more money for your deals, right? That's what we're going to do today. So again, very, very briefly, my background started in real estate, 1982. I raised 30 million during the 90s, actually, mostly from Japanese investors, for multifamily ground-up developments in Southern California. I ended up in Japan. I was hired by Universal Studios, as you mentioned, head of Asia Pacific, Daihyo Torishimariak Shacho. I don't think if there's any other Japanese speakers here. I'm having a quick look to see if there's any. If there are, let me know, and we'll just switch to Japanese and have a private chat. How about that? Then I left that world, and I came back. Started doing my own developments. 2007, sold out. What a lucky break that was, and was hired by East West Bank, a major bank headquartered, actually at the time one of the largest headquartered in Southern California, that had made a lot of loans, real estate collateralized loans that had all gone bad. And so they wanted me to clean their balance sheet by selling these things. So we're kind of coming back into that same kind of era in 2023. And that's what we're going to get to. That's what I'm going to give you some advice on, exactly what you should do to triumph next year. Crowdfunding. So that's my background. And then I started doing digital marketing. 2012-ish, when the Jobs Act passed, I became obsessed with digital marketing. Again, it's a long story. I realized there was an intersection between a change in the law and capital formation. And so I started digital marketing, and that's why I'm here. So what is crowdfunding to start with? Well, super high level, it is the difference between what happened in 1933 and what happened in 2012. 1933, the Securities Act prohibited any of you from soliciting investors from anybody other than somebody you already knew. You had to have a pre-existing relationship, right? So what that meant was the only way to raise money was to join a country club or to be on a board or to go to conferences and meet people and get to know them, and then you could solicit from. There's a word for that: brain damage. The other word is dog and pony show. You got to go through the same dog and pony show again and again and again. You got to talk about your background, your experience, your track record, your philosophy, your investment strategy again and again and again with individuals one at a time. Brain damage. But that was the only way you could do it up until 2012. And in 2012, a bipartisan act of Congress passed the Jobs Act, Jumpstart Our Business Startups. And that introduced one major regulation. There's a few of them, but they introduced, actually, let's talk about three of them. One was Regulation A+, called Mini IPO. The other was Regulation CF, crowdfunding, regulation crowdfunding. Both of these apply to non-accredited investors, right? Much harder to do, way beyond the scope of today's presentation, but nevertheless, that was crowdfunding, especially Regulation CF. What really moved the needle for sponsors like you was Regulation D506C. So Regulation D506B was what there was before, and B said you have to have a pre-existing relationship. 506C says, no, you don't. You can advertise. You can put it up, or you can say, invest with me. You can do it on LinkedIn. You can do it on Twitter if you want to. You do it on Facebook, TikTok. You can fly a plane over a city with your phone number says, invest with me. That was prohibited in 2012. That became legal. And that is the kind of broad ecosystem that evolved that is called crowdfunding. Technically, I don't want to get too technical, but technically it's not really crowdfunding when you use 506C. It's really just online syndication, right? But let's just continue using the word crowdfunding. Right, so crowdfunding means you can go online and you can raise money. So what this created was a new industry at the intersection. I don't got a whiteboard. I don't have a whiteboard. I could scribble stuff out. I don't have a whiteboard. So picture in your head, if you will, two industries, two circles. One is commercial real estate capital formation, right? Raising money and equity from investors over here. And the other is the world, the wonderful world of digital marketing. And until 2012, these two worlds had to be separate. And in 2012, oh my goodness, they intersected. What a wonderful thing that was. Created a brand new industry, the industry of real estate crowdfunding. And at that intersection, three types of new companies emerged. One was crowdfunding platforms. So crowdfunding platforms are like to raising money for equity, what the MLS or CoStar is to buying a building, right? So they're marketplaces. So instead of going to the MLS to find a property or to CoStar to find a commercial deal that you want to buy, or LootNet or whatever that you want to buy, you can go to these websites and invest. So you can list your property there, not for sale, but because you want to raise money. And investors can go there and they can invest as little, in some cases on some platforms, as little as $5. I mean, it's really incredible. But for accredited investors, typically you're looking at a $10,000 minimum on any of these platforms. And I'm just going to rattle some off. There's a huge list, and if you want it, just let me know. I'll send you the full list. But the main ones are crowdstreet.com. By far, they're about, okay, somebody's saying my mic gain is too high. Thanks for letting me know. Let me just adjust that for I know exactly how to do that. That's, hold on, let me just, think, here we go, boink. There, hopefully that fixed it. That's Zoom resetting the bloody settings every time. CrowdStreet are by far like 10x bigger than any other crowdfunding platform. The other three that you want to take a close look at are going to be Equity Multiple, Real Crowd, and Realty Mogul. And then there's a bunch of others that are much lower level, much lower scale, but they're all basically marketplaces. All right. So now here's a very important number for you. To list on a crowdfunding platform, your cost of equity, the cost you've got to be willing to spend to raise the money you want, it's going to be around 4%. Now that's the same as if you do it yourself. So if you want to raise $1 million, you got to figure on spending 40,000. If you want to raise $100 million, you got to figure between 3 and 4 million overall in marketing expense to raise that money. Now that number goes down over time because investors that you bring in, new investors that you bring in today they'll cost, and we can talk about the numbers as well if you want. We've got a Q&A coming up, specific numbers, but they will obviously cost you money today to get them in the first time. That's your 4% cost of capital. But the second time that you ask them to invest, provided you deliver well to them or give them good results, cost of getting them a second time is 0, right? So it costs money to get an investor in the first time, but the second time it's 0, because all you're going to do is you're going to send an email that says invest with me, and boom, they'll invest. It won't cost you anything, right? So those are the crowdfunding platforms: CrowdStreet, Equity Multiple, Real Crowd, Realty Mogul, and there's a bunch more. If you want, I have a comprehensive list. Yeah, somebody said you'd love the list. I haven't got time to send it to you now. If it's okay, Tammy, feel free. just go to my website or call me, just email adam@gowercrowd.com. I'll send it to you. Let's see. Now, the second industry that emerged with the advent of crowdfunding was, and I get some, I don't know, it's maybe an English thing, but people tend to giggle a little bit when I talk about back-end systems. Some people find that funny. I'm not really sure. But you need a back end as well when you are raising money online. So crowdfunding itself is the process of attracting, nurturing, and converting prospects into becoming investors with you. A back end system is something that manages that relationship once somebody has invested, meaning that it manages the documents in a secure environment, right? So you can sign documents online. It holds those documents in archives so that you can see all the signed contracts. It might manage the waterfall structure. It will help you with distributions. Most of them have basic functionality, but their primary role is to create a secure environment in which you can actually accept and sign contracts and accept money, okay? And that's what I call the back-end system. So that's the second kind of industry that emerged with the advent of crowdfunding. And some major examples of back-end systems are going to be Juniper Square, Investor Management Services, aka IMS, AppFolio have come into the business as well. They all provide back-end systems. And again, as with the crowdfunding platforms, there are dozens and dozens of other back-end systems that you can go with. My personal recommendation is you are going to be managing investor capital. That's a very, very high fiduciary responsibility. Don't cheap out on your back-end system. Go with one of the majors. You don't want your platform shutting down in a few years and losing all your documentation or whatever, right? So go with the big one. And those are going to be Juniper Square, Investor, IMS, or AppFolio, right? And we know all of them extremely well. I work and develop deals on every single one of these platforms for clients, and they are all unbelievably difficult to use, right? Just to give you, like none of them are good, but they do give you a good secure environment for your investors. Okay, and then the third leg, if you like, or the third industry that emerged out of the advent of crowdfunding in 2012 with the Jobs Act was, of course, digital marketing for commercial real estate sponsors like you so you can raise money online. That's the world that I inhabit, digital marketing. Let's see. So what is digital marketing? Well, digital marketing, I'm going to give you an analogy. So essentially it's the difference between raising money in person and raising money online. So the analogy I like to use is the analogy of a car. If you want to get somewhere, right? If you wanted to build a car, the first thing you would do is you would create a beautiful, I don't know much about it. The chassis is the body, right? You want a beautiful body on your car. But if you've got a car parked out there that looks stunning, that has no engine, it's not going to go anywhere. And the outside of the vehicle, the car itself, its body, is the equivalent of your website, right? Your website is the first thing that your prospects are going to see, just as somebody sees you out with a fancy car. The first thing they're going to see, it has to attract them. And I'm going to give you some very advanced tips on exactly how to do that in a minute. But your website is the first thing that attracts people. It's the same as the car, the body of the car. But without an engine, you're not going anywhere. And in the digital world, the engine is the functionality of your website. So if all your website does is have a few nice pictures and a contact us page, has no functionality. You have to have lead generating links and buttons and pop-ups absolutely everywhere. You don't want to overwhelm people. Sometimes people go over the top with this, but you have to have lead generation on every single page so that when somebody lands on your website, not only do they stick around because you've got a bunch of stuff there, and I'll talk about that the next step, but they also have the opportunity to say, hey, tell me more, right? Here's my name and email address. Yes, I'd like to learn more. That's the functionality of your website, is to generate leads. And then actually, once you do generate a lead, when somebody sends you their email and name, that you generate then, or you then follow up with automated emails, right? So you write them and those go out automatically. If you sign up on my website, that's exactly what you're going to see, right? Automated emails, no matter what you sign up for. So that's the functionality, that's the engine. But if you have a beautiful car sitting in your driveway with a super high horsepower engine, that's great. But get what next? If you don't have fuel, you ain't going anywhere. What is the fuel that powers capital formation, raising money online in the digital world? The answer is content. Content is king. You have to have content, right? Now, if you want to know more, and I'm going to talk about what content in a second. If you want to know more about how to optimize your website, I've got a little treat for you. Did this right now, actually, on the fly. My book, Syndicate, it's this one here. You can see it over there, I think. Syndicate, I should grab it. Here, there's a digital version that we charge $7 for. And if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. But if you go to my website, we just put this up now, gowercrowd.com. Go to my website. There's a link there somewhere on the page. Like, scan down. You'll see Syndicate. Put the promo code in, Scott, all capital, SCOTT. You'll get it for free. Right? So there's nothing to actually reimburse you with. You might still have, just as an FYI, I think the only way our systems work, you might still have to put a credit card in, but it won't charge you. All right. So as a little bonus, that's a free book. It is the best that you could read if you want to raise money online. It'll tell you exactly what to do with your website, right? Now, let's, okay, we're moving pretty fast here. Let's see. So what's a funnel? So how do you use content? All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my screen here, all my notes. You're going to see exactly how I do this, right? All my little notes here. Oh, Tammy just vanished. Okay. Is that the right page? What page did I give you? Can you see? What page can you see? Can you see a thing that says, can you see my notes? Somebody let me know. I give you the right page. Somebody just thumbs up.
See Zoom HD Pro Cam in your notes.
Oh, that's the wrong one. I knew I'd done the wrong thing. Okay, right. So let me share again. Sorry, I'm trying to do this too fast to share. It's this one here. This is the one I want you to see. Okay, so now you've got this one with my other notes with crowdfunding on it, right?
Yeah.
That's the one you've got. Okay, good. Right, so what's a funnel? Okay, so, and Syndicate is going to talk you through this basically. But a funnel looks like this. So if we go to the Gower, actually, let's start with something kind of cool. Let's see. Actually, let's just go to Gower Crowd. It's fine. And we can take a look at any of our articles here. So we go to digital marketing. So we create a lot of content, as you can see, and there's all kinds of tactics and techniques for doing that. If you want to know more about that, again, let me know. We can make it very simple and very fast for you, and much more efficient than you might imagine to create this content. But you create articles on your website. And every page of your website needs to have lead generation forms. Now, obviously, I've got a lot of legacy forms, but here's all these different ways that you can sign up to my website. Where should you start? Click this one. Let's see where, I don't even know where this one goes. Oops, yeah, there we go. I didn't even know I had that. But anyway, so there's a funnel that I've got with a course on it. But look, the point is that every single page has a call to action, right? You are inviting people in your communication with them on the online world. At every single point that you communicate with them, you must give them an option to do more with you. It's called the investor journey. So you need calls to action. So how does that work? And this is how you build a funnel. Again, I don't have a whiteboard, unfortunately. I do go through it in Syndicate though. So do go ahead and have a look at that book. It's like I say, it's free, so I don't even need to worry about refunds if you don't like it, but it's very useful. So here's Max. Max is an old client and good friend. And this was, look, you've seen me, you've been with me for how long? 22 minutes, and this was posted 21 minutes ago. You know I didn't do that. This is auto posting on social media. It is the most amazing thing that you could be doing, because once you set up your funnels, you can automate absolutely everything. Social posting, responses when people inquire, I mean, really everything. That's the beauty of digital marketing, is you can automate. So if you scan through my profile on LinkedIn, you can see that I post pretty frequently. Here's another client. These guys manage 25, I don't know how many, 30 billion, I think. I don't know, they're ginormous anyway. Let's see, I think this one, yeah, this is a video. This one's pretty cool actually. So each post has a call to action. And here I actually wrote a book. I created a book. All of these were every single podcast conversation I have, I asked 3 final questions at the end, and then I assembled those and created this book. So here's this post on social. You click on this one, and it goes to a lead generation page, right? You want the book? It's a free book. Here we go. Give me your name and email address. Isn't that sweet? That's lead gen. So if you buy this book, this one's free. So if you get this book, what's going to happen is not only do you get something really cool, actually, really interesting. I mean, look at all these people that participate. Torstein runs CrowdStreet. Michael Episcope is Origin Investments. Julian Hellman runs Realty Mogul. Charles Clinton at Equity Multiple. Ben Miller at Fundrise. I mean, the list goes on. These are the elite of real estate, commercial real estate investing in America. So anyway, you can learn from them with this book. So, but what happens is you're going to get the book delivered automatically. I won't even know that you got it. And secondly, you are going to go on my email list. OMG, isn't that wonderful? You can do the same thing. This is how you start to build your lists. They're called funnels. So the first thing that happens is, this one's a video. So let me find one that actually goes to the website. I think this is another video. Oh, here we go. This looks like one. So here, for one of my articles, where does this one go? I can't tell. Let's have a look. Hopefully to Gower Crowd. Yeah. So this particular funnel and everything on this page on LinkedIn, all of this posting, and then when you do paid advertising, it's called top of funnel. It's all top of funnel content push. So you're pushing content out. It's all automated. Once you build it, you just push it out. And everything has a CTA, call to action. So now somebody here on LinkedIn has had the opportunity to say, oh, this looks interesting. This is kind of interesting. Ryan actually reposted this. But this looks interesting. They click on this link. So now you're going down into the funnel and you're ending up on the ultimate guide. Hey, this is a good article for you as well. If you want to learn more, go to gowercrowd.com. You find this article, The Ultimate Guide to Crowdfunding Real Estate Development. That might actually perform quite well, actually. That might be a good SEO article for it. But anyway, so here it describes it as a little video that's embedded in there. You're going to hear from Mark Roderick, who's a crowdfunding attorney. Learn everything you want. You buy a book as another one of my books, and etc. And what we got here, another lead generating form, right? Give me your name and email address and sign up for our newsletter. So that's the next step. So you start at LinkedIn, top of funnel. Somebody sees this, they like it. They travel to your website. Then they will give you their name and email address. And now, boom, you got them. Because now what you can do is you can start to nurture them into coming to know, like, and trust you, so that they become predisposed to investing with you before you even communicate with them. If you have any direct communication with them, before you even pitch, they will be predisposed to investing with you, right? And then now they're in your email system. So that's kind of the last piece of what I wanted to talk to you about today, was deep dive. And that was, what should you be talking about with your investors? So number one, content is good. You want evergreen content that is always valid. It's valid today or next year or in 5 years' time. It doesn't matter. It's called evergreen. And that's what you should really concentrate your effort on, because it's time well spent. If you can write an article today that drives traffic and prospects to you for the next 10 years, boom, that's an asset to your company. But today, with the market doing what it's doing and interest rates going up and prices coming down and investors, they're worried. They're worried because their savings have been eroded by inflation. Their savings have lost 20, 30%, whatever, on the stock market. Interest rates are going up, so the value of their homes are going down. People are feeling poorer. So you have to hit their pain points. You can't be tone deaf. Don't be going out there today and saying, hey, earn passive income and build wealth in real estate by investing with us. Okay, yeah, everybody knows that. That is bull market language. You need to adapt bear market language. Actually, I'm going to share with you. Now, not many people do this, and that's what's cool, is it's going to give you a competitive advantage if you do. But for example, here, if you go to the Gower Crowd website again, and go over to sponsor ads. So we scrape Facebook. I'm one of those people that I'm the antithesis of what most people complain about the ads, right? They say, oh, the ads, interfere with my enjoyment of Facebook. I actually find all the ridiculous personal posts interfere with my enjoyment of the ads on Facebook, right? So what I decided to do, I had my team scrape Facebook. All right, it's not easy to do. And what you get on this page, which is very, very cool, it's over here. Just go to news, sponsor ads, right down there. We're looking at all the ads that are being placed by sponsors and platforms. Look at this. I mean, this is like a bottomless page, I think. This is called an infinite scroll. You got to be logged in, I think, to get this. Anyway, it's infinite scroll page. Here, these guys know what they're saying. There is no doubt that investors are likely to be faced with a recession. Perfect. But what CrowdStreet is saying, learn about this opportunistic acquisition, all right? Let's see what else. Now, not everybody's doing this yet. Some people are still, blagging on about, earn passive income and build wealth. Okay, it's important. People at the moment, though, they're afraid of losing their money. They don't want to lose. So the language you want to be using is beat the bear market, beat the stock market, protect your wealth. Protect is an important term right now. It's an important term. Investors want to know how to protect their wealth. They're less concerned about growing their wealth than they are about saving, of protecting it. Market fluctuations have become more volatile. So these guys have tuned into it. Now, it doesn't mean that these ads work well, and we don't know what the kind of conversions are. Some of these are ridiculous. 15%, I mean, I don't know, I hope you're not on the bloody course. Somebody from Galvan, it'd be bad if I said that. 15%, I don't know, whatever, anyway. But this is a very good resource for you to see what's going on and what kind of language people are using, right? And that's the language that you want to be using with your investors via emails and ideally in newsletters, right? You want to be sending out newsletters at least once every 2 weeks, ideally once a week, maximum twice a week if you're really hyperactive like some of my clients are. But you want to be communicating high level, high value correspondence about what's going on in the industry and assuage people's concerns, investor concerns, and show them how you can solve their problems during a recession. All right, that's it. 31, I went a minute over, but we did have a minute at the first one. I didn't say anything. So there's my 30 minutes. Can I go now?
Well, thank you so much, Adam. That was a lot of information in that 30 minutes. It was packed. No, not at all. Not at all. Does anybody have any questions? If you'd like, you can either put them in the chat and we'll pick them up from there. Or if you want to just unmute your mic, feel free to introduce yourself and jump on in the conversation.
Yeah, don't be shy. As you can tell, I like to talk. Anyone? So
you
there's this movement. Well, there you go. I must have explained everything. That's good.
Yep.
Well, I can keep. Do you want me to kind of keep going on for a few more minutes? You know I can.
Okay, this is David. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, with everything of trying to build a business and stuff like that, I'm kind of running out of time and energy to do what you're talking about in addition, which is very important, really important. How to go about that? How do you continue to build a business and do what you're talking about and all the other stuff? I'm overwhelmed at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
David,
just in a seminar for the 3 days and there's tons of information, but I'm thinking I'm out of time and space. So
my recommendation is this. So it took me to become, as competent as I am, probably 2 to 3 years of very, very total dedication. Okay. What you get from me, though, like in this, in this book in Syndicate, is in this thing I wrote. It's about 10,000 words, so you can read it in an hour. You get that 3 years compressed into a very small period of time. So what I recommend is, first of all, don't try to do everything. Just think in terms of incremental improvement. The Japanese word for that is kaizen, a continual improvement. So what's your website? Do you mind if we take a look? Have you got a website, David?
Yeah, go ahead. It's www.freyhomes.com.
Screen. Hold on.
Frey Homes, F-R-E-I.
Pop it into the chat, will you? Just pop it into the chat. Yeah, let's have a quick look, and I'll give you some immediate feedback now that will be valid. I am almost
definitely having a landing page.
I'm going to show you what you need.
I know what that is, but
Okay, Frey Homes. Okay, here we go. Well, yeah, you can hire virtual assistants, but you gotta know. Yeah, you can hire people to do a lot of this stuff for you. You can hire us to do it for you. I mean, it's what we do. You can hire us to show you how to do it, and you can hire us to just to give you some training courses as well. But I'm going to show you some stuff here. This is going to apply to everybody on this call. I guarantee it. There's almost nobody that does this well, and that's not an indictment of any of you. That's just because you've never had the opportunity to benefit from digital marketing, so you've never had the need to do this. So there's a few things that you need to do, David. These are like immediate wins. Immediate wins, just one thing at a time. It's not a big deal. Number one, what you need to have is you need to have a call to action on your place, on your website, right? So the first thing, first of all, is this one of your properties? This isn't one of yours, is it?
No.
I've seen this house somewhere.
It comes from a bank, digital bank.
Okay, oh, I see. Maybe that's where I've seen it. Okay.
Yep.
So ideally, I would use what I recommend. Don't use stock photography. Use images that you own. Right. That's first number one. But the second thing is what you absolutely have to have on your website. The first thing is you've got to have what's called the big idea. And the big idea is something that grabs somebody's attention. By the way, this is not a new concept. This is a concept that has been mastered and developed in marketing for over 120 years. It was first developed by Robert Collier and Claude Hopkins in the early 1900s with direct mail. You've got to have something that grabs somebody's attention. And David, let me ask you this question. It's kind of rhetorical. It's a bit unfair. You did volunteer, so here you are.
Yep.
What is the one thing, there's only one thing that anybody landing on your website cares about? What is that one thing? It's kind of rhetorical. The only thing that anybody cares about, including you, when you land on somebody's website is what's in it for me. That's all they care about.
That's what I was thinking,
So
yeah.
what you have to have here is something that instantly answers that question. What's in it for me? There are now we're getting really, really detailed. This one, I think it's in Syndicate. It's in Syndicate, I think. 3 words that you need. You need to have the word real estate. You need to have the word invest, or a derivation of the word invest, investment, investing, and ideally the word you or your. So if you have the word you or you're talking directly to that person, psychological trigger. Then you are communicating directly to that question, what's in it for me? So what you could do here, by the way, getting this dialed in is not easy to do. You could get rid of all this here. Actually, I don't know what you do, so that's not a fair thing to say. But I would change this to something like, see, I don't even see the word real estate here. I'm not sure exactly. Renting with ownership benefits means more value. Make money, I'm not sure what you do exactly, but make money with build to rent homes. How you can, or, make money. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. That's kind of the problem. And I can't tell instantly what it is that you do. Ownership low. All right. So it's just difficult. I'm just not sure. So you want to dial, it looks like this is the key thing, but that you need to unwrap that. And here's a cool website for you. You're going to love this. It's called, so this website, let me pop this in. This is my favorite thing. So this one, I'll pop this in the thing over here. It's there, it's in the chat. So send subject line tester. This is actually a tool that I use all the time. Where did I learn this tool? I got this tool from Bigger Pockets. I interviewed one of their principals in a podcast, and she told me, oh yeah, one of their editors at the time. Oh yeah, I use this for all their headlines. And by the way, their subject lines and emails are premium. This is what they use. So, it's not perfect. It's not perfect for big ideas, but let's see what happens when we put that. So 84 points. How could you, and if you scan down, it shows you why it's good and why it's not good. Written at a 9th grade level. So the question I would ask you is, do you want to impress people or do you want to raise money? If you want to impress people, use big language. If you want to raise money, dumb it down. Get it down to a 5th grade level. Trust me on this. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Right? Basically, you want to make it super simple. It's like Ray Kroc, keep it simple, stupid, right? That's what you want to do. So you want to have something, you can use this tool to just mess about with the language that you're using over here. Now, the second thing that you have to have, and this applies to everybody, so I'm not just picking on you, it's a good question. These are easy wins for you, David. You've already done it. Just do it again. Think about it on your drive home today or when you're going out somewhere. What can you use for your big idea? Then you've got to have a call to action. Sign up. Absolutely mandatory. How do we get to anything here? So you've got a form here. Yeah, so this is something, it's funny, I see this as well. Excuse my language, screw that. If somebody sends you, submits a form on your website, they are opting in, period, right? They're opting in, don't ask. You put all this effort into getting people to your website and to sign up on your website. When they sign up and hit submit, they just signed up, right? They opted in, so don't ask them. Change this to you can always unsubscribe or something. You know what? Don't ask, don't give them this option, because when they hit submit, they're giving you that information anyway. And here you can just say you can always unsubscribe, right? Just a small thing. But is this a support ticket? Wait a minute. Is this support? That's contact us. So that's what you have to have. This is low hanging fruit, David, not difficult to do. You need a call to action button here that says, give me your name and email address and get on our news list, or learn a latest update.
Okay, so up on the front page, I was thinking exactly the same thing when you brought it up.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. It's called the hero image. That's what you want to have in here. Change this, maybe expand this so that it's bigger, drop it into the background a bit, put this up and front in the middle with a button underneath that says sign up to, get our ebook or get on our newsletter or to be on the priority wait list for our next deal, something, right? So somebody signs up. So those are things that you can do immediately. Now, if you want to really build over time, don't be overwhelmed. Don't do it all at once. Don't try and do it all at once. There's no way. But what you do want to have is you want to have some content, motivation, synchronicity. Again, if you want to impress people, use language like that. If you want to actually raise money, dumb it down. Really dumb it down. I'm not sure what that is. Motivational card trick and synchronicity. Okay, that's something to watch later. That's kind of cool. We're not going to do that. But really what you want to have is you want to have little articles that inform people about your investment strategy or something. Like, for example, well, I want to know what that means. What does renting with ownership mean? You could write an article about that. All right, perfect. Right. And then for that article, and then put it up here. Instead of vault, you want to have something that says opportunity, resources or education. Then post a link to that on social media. And you can use a platform. We use Sendable. There's a bunch of them that you can use. And just set it to go out once a week, every week on your social platforms. And that's it. It becomes an asset to your company, David. And my recommendation to speak directly to your question, don't be overwhelmed. Don't try and do everything. Just do a little bit at a time. Just set yourself a task. If you do one article a month, right?
I get that.
That's all you need. That's 1,000 words. You speak at 150 words a minute. So if you teach somebody for 10 minutes about the concept of what renting with ownership is, well, you only spend 10 minutes and get through the whole thing. That's 1,500 words. Take that transcript, edit it, put it on your website. Then take sentences, little clips, put them up into an automated social posting system. Now you just created a funnel, right? Now, if you want to expedite this, we can show you how. I mean, what we do is we either do this for clients, to do this lock, stock, and barrel, we charge a monthly fee. It's a 6-month program, or we can show you how to do it yourself as well. We can train you. You can do it yourself. There are all kinds of shortcuts. Yeah. That's my story again. So you see, you ask a little question, you get 15 minutes of answer.
Little tweets.
Little tweets. Yeah, don't try and do
little
it all
tweaks here and there.
Just one thing, yeah. Like get syndicate and just one thing at a time. Just upgrade it one at a time. When you've done all that, then just keep moving. You know what the nice thing is? It just builds. It's like building a building. It's like a brick. Every time you add something, it just gets bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. And eventually it just becomes an asset. So don't be overwhelmed. Just do one thing at a time. If you challenge yourself to do one thing a week, by the end of this time next year, you'll have an awesome website. Lead generating, prospect.
Hopefully it doesn't take that long.
It doesn't take that long. It doesn't. Some of our clients, we'd spend 6 months putting these things together. Some of our clients want it done in 3 months. So we just, we crank it out. You can do it that way. We have a program. It's a 12-week program called the Syndicated program. And that's the same thing. We just guide you through it, show you exactly how to put in lead generating forms and automated email systems and how to auto post on social media, how to create great graphics, like the whole thing. And then all you need to do is set yourself the task. Even if you do one article a month, in 12 months' time, you'll have something that will be way ahead of your competition.
Okay. Cool. Very good.
Anyone else?
So maybe definitely links. So call to action on every page is what you had mentioned.
You need a CTA, not just on every page, but on everything. So if you post on social media, make sure that you have a read more or learn more button there that allows people to just get into the discipline of doing that.
Anytime there's, call to action.
Anytime you commit. Listen, it's no different from when you meet an investor in person. You don't say, well, it was nice to meet you, goodbye. Do you ever? You say, it was nice to meet you. Here, I'm going to follow up. Here's our follow-up. I'm going to send you that document. You're going to check with your accountant. We'll talk again next week. There is always follow-up. You always follow up with something. You're doing your job properly. You always follow up. This is the digital equivalent of that. The call to action is the digital equivalent of following up. And if you think of a funnel, all you're doing is you're inviting people to move deeper and deeper and deeper automatically without you having to be involved in the process in their relationship with you. As they establish a relationship with you anonymously, it's what's so wonderful. So many people, I can see everybody's name here, but you're the only one that's taught. Most people I don't know, all right? You're all learning from me. That's how investors learn from you. But you put videos and articles online, and eventually what happens is they read all your stuff. Your avatar, your ideal investor will read everything, watch all your videos, read all your emails, and be anxious to invest with you. Think about the normal, I'm going to leave you with this because I know I'm at the end of time. Think about the normal curve, right? You remember the normal, I think it's called the bell curve here, right? The bell curve. Remember that from statistics. Straight down the middle are all those people, and this is what happens when you go online, is you're not dealing with one person at a time anymore, David. You're dealing with gazillions, right? Basically, everybody all at once. So think of the normal curve. Straight down the middle are all those people, the average, who will see your stuff and be totally indifferent. They don't care one way or another. On the left side, 1, 2, 3 standard deviations away, there are those people who think you are a complete idiot. They just think you're the dumbest thing they've ever seen in their life. You drive them mad.
Right.
But because we're talking statistics and massive numbers, think about not those people that think you're an idiot, but for every one of those on the other side, somebody thinks you are the best thing they've ever seen. Their financial salvation is how they see it.
Got it.
Those are the people you communicate with. Don't care. Don't worry about the others. Don't have doubt, right? When you produce content or change stuff, just have in your mind's eye the ideal investor. When you put this up, who's your ideal investor? Speak only to that person, and that is the only kind of investor or prospect that will come to you. They will be automatically attracted to you. They won't know why, but they will be, right? That's just how it works. It's amazing. Hard to imagine. Some people think I'm an idiot. Mostly my kids, they're in that category, like, but there are those people that absolutely love everything that I do. And it's so rewarding to be able to communicate with them. And it's the same for you with investors. They're just so grateful and thankful to you, right? So anyway, step by step. You see, I can just keep on going. Tammy, how are we doing for time?
Well, I think you've kind of run up to the end here, and thank you so much, Adam, for everything. And that was really cool to use David with this example of everything. Like walking through it in real time and everything. That was great. So thank you, David, for coming off the mute and talking to us about that. So that was perfect.
Question to Adam, real quick. So the first thing, other than reviewing this information that we've just created, is to download your book, the free book. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is all that information that we just went over for the last hour is there, or a lot of it?
So Syndicate covers optimal website architecture.
Okay.
How to build a web.
What we just talked about.
Yeah, this is kind of the core, the core of what you need. And don't overthink it. It's all in there. Just do it. It's core stuff. And the thing is that it's not unique to real estate. Digital marketing and marketing has been used, like I say, since the beginning of the 20th century. These are just tactics and techniques that other industries have proven work exceptionally well, that we have adapted to capital formation, to raising money online, and they also work well. I could show you, I know I'm out of time, but just if you go to CrowdStreet or Realty Mogul or Equity Multiple or any of these Origin Investments, any of these exceptional websites, you'll see what I just talked about. There's a big idea, something that speaks directly to you. Do this afterwards. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's always going to be a call to action. Some of them are, they're a bit denser, so a bit more sophisticated. They're testing some different ideas. You don't want to do that to start with. You want to start with something that is functional, that works well, gets you where you want to go, and attracts prospects to you. But you will see this structure, and you will also see that all of these sites have huge repositories of educational content. But the only reason it's huge is because they've been doing it like me for years. I counted the words on my website, not personally. I ran a spider on my website. There's over 1 million words of content on my website. That's incredible. Incredible volume, that. 1 million+ words. I'm blown away. But it's taken me 8 years to do that. Don't worry. Just do one article a month.
Right,
Seriously,
got it.
one a month, and one article will put you ahead of 99.9% of sponsors. Two articles, like you're getting into, but nobody does it. Everybody, have a look at your own website. Have a look at everybody's website. You'll see people don't have that. Scott has an excellent website because I know he's a content production machine. Just start with one article. All right, sorry, Tammy. Yeah.
No, you're doing great. All right. Well, thank you again, Adam, so much for being on. I know Liz just put your link to get that book. Remember, it's gowercrowd.com, and then the promo code is Scott, and you'll be able to download that. And we also have Adam's direct email address. So thank you so much, Adam, for giving us direct access to you. So
oh, my pleasure.
Ready,
I'm not 100% sure if it works exactly, but just try, when you try and download that book, go with, make sure it's capital, the code is capitalized, SCOTT capital. And if it doesn't work, just email me, adam@gowercrowd.com. We'll get you.
Jeffrey said he's already done it and it worked.
It worked.
Okay, good. Now also pay attention to all the upsells and downsells and bumps, because that's how you can raise more money as well. But that's very, very advanced. But it's worth getting into the funnel to do that. All right, let me know if you got any questions.
Thank you, Adam.
Having me. Yeah, appreciate it.